Well, let's see. Does that come over? Precarious. And have that on my phone. Hey Joshua, can you come here for a second? Can you come here for a sec? I just want to check this with you. If you'll just stand and talk into the microphone.
Hello, my name is Evan.
Is it?
What do I do?
Can you speak loud?
I don't think it's
Hello? Hello there?
Is it on. Lex.
What do I take? Oh,
Lexi, need your help. A microphone? Is the back of the passport on? Yeah. And switch to the
it's not because of the mask.
maybe. Alright, go for it. On.
Hello?
Let's put your mask up. Okay, keep it. So why don't you talk?
Hello there?
So part of the problem, this kind of mic has to be right in front of your mouth. Like to the side, you're not going to be able to say. Can we just...
Hello? Hi there. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to want to talk as loud as you can.
It's a really hot day today.
It is a little bit hard. We're all in it together, though. Alright, and you start over there. Over here? Yep, because I'm going to start up here.
No, I said right before that.
Yes.
Stay up here if we have to come back to our seat.
Say that one more time.
Will you tell us when we have to stay up here and come back to our seat?
Yep. Are we good? No, about to. Yeah. Yep. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Temple Beth Or. I'm Rabbi Leah Citron along with Zemer Lexi Newell. We welcome you to this Shabbat morning service where we will celebrate the bar mitzvah of Joshua Cooper. As we get started, I want to welcome everyone who's joining us via Zoom and remind you of just a few pieces of Zoom etiquette that will help create a sacred worship space for us this morning. First, please keep yourself on mute unless you are participating in the service, at which point I will invite you to unmute. And otherwise, keep it mute till the end when we will get a chance to greet each other and greet the Cooper family. Second, please have your camera focused on your head and shoulders. And if you need to step away from your computer for any reason, I invite you to please turn your camera off temporarily so you can attend to whatever business you need to do. Finally, if you have any questions throughout the service, you can send a message to our Zoom host in the chat function, and they will help you as best as they can on this Shabbat morning. We take a deep breath and offer the words of Ma Tovu. How good it is, how great your tents, O Jacob. In this moment, I invite forward the parents of our bar mitzvah, Rebecca and Chris Cooper, to present their son with his talit. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher k'risanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asit etek v'tzitzit. Amen. Amen. You get this about that. Oh, you watch it. We turn to our opening readings. First, I invite forward Cheryl Faber, followed by Jacob Cooper and Sarah Cooper.
Shabbat Shalom. This is for my Joshua, a poem by Sandra Sturt's House. May a kind word, a reassuring touch, and a warm smile be yours every day of your life. And may you give these gifts as well as receive them. Remember the sunshine when the storm seems unending. Teach love to those who know hate, and let that love embrace you as you go into the world. May you not become too concerned with material matters, but instead place immeasurable value on the goodness in your heart. Find time in each day to see beauty and love in the world around you. Realize that each person has limitless abilities, but each of us is different in our own way. What you may feel you lack in one regard may be more than compensated for in another. What you feel you lack in the present may become one of your strengths in the future. May you see your future as one filled with promise and possibility. May you find enough inner strength to determine your own worth by yourself and not be dependent on another's judgment of your accomplishments. May you always feel loved.
This bridge will only take you halfway there, to those mysterious lands you long to see, through gypsy camps and swirling Arab fairs, and moonlit woods where unicorns run free.
So come and walk a while with me and share the twisting trails and wondrous worlds I've known. But this bridge will only take you halfway there. The last few steps you'll have to take alone.
We continue giving thanks for Nisim B'Cholyom, our blessings for daily miracles, and I invite forward our Bar Mitzvah, Joshua Cooper, to lead us in prayer, page 175.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, magir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, lokep kepuvim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, lokach ha'etz al-humayim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamekim tzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten Torah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavir shenat me'inai, u'shemach me'avatai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani eslam Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani ben korim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'tifaret.
We continue with our call to worship the Baruch Hu. Please rise if you are able.
melech ha'olam, yotzer or uvarei choshen, osei shalom urei et hakol. Amavir ba'aretz, aladarim alecha rachamim, u'tuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid. Asay Reshit Ma Rabu Ma'asecha Adonai Lam Bechokma Asita Al Ha'etz Yamecha Barach Adonai Eloheinu Al Shavah Ma'aseh Ma'adecha Ba'al Moreh or Be'asita Yipa'arucha Halak or Hadash Al Sion Ta'ir Beizkei Kulani Ma'arav Oro Baruch Atah Adonai Yotzer HaMa'orot. Please turn to page 199. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear. In every land and every age, your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways. And yet, O God, you are the one, the fire of humanity. We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully, we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and saviors of Israel, and joyfully we remember that the dawn of Israel's life. We would turn to you and find purpose. May the teachers of our ancestors live in our minds. May passion for righteousness steer in our hearts. Help us live so that daily conduct reveals the beauty of and wisdom of your truth.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai
Please be seated. Adonai Hacha, V'kol Avecha, U'kol Nafshecha, U'kol Me'odecha, V'chayu, Hadvarim Ha'el, Asher Elohim Mitzavecha, Hayom Aravavecha, V'shinon Tam Levanecha, V'dibarta Bam, V'shitecha Bevetecha, U'vleftecha V'aderech, U'shafrecha U'kumecha, U'chatam Le'oyetecha, V'chayu Le'tetafot B'nei Utoptom Omizot Betecha, Uvi Shablecha, Emma on Pitzkeru, Ositem et Pomitotai, Eitin Oshim, Balahechem, Oni, Adonai Elohim, Asher Kotzinim, et Mitzrayim, Leot Lachem Melechim, Oni, Adonai Elohim. Please turn to page 203. Of men and women, join in understanding and respect the song of God's miracles and earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, the soldiers home, and leave no more, the song of world redeemed, the song of peace.
Shira
Adonai sepetai vita uhi yagid tehila hata. Adonai sepetai vita uhi yagid tehila hata. Turn to page 253 208. Aruch hata na El Elyon, Gomer Hasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Bezover Asate over Imam Vivi Bila, Vivne, Ayam Ma'an, No Be'aba, Yes, Israel, Yo Imagine, Aruch, Ananai, Rin, Abraham Israel Sarah, Atagi Borle Olam Adonai, Behaye Hakol, Tal, Shiha, Sheep Eid Hagashem, Echel Oim Bechesed, Mechayim Kol Beracham Domech Novi, Echomech Elohim, Umatir Asirim, Oim, Eminator, Leishene Alpha, Michamocha Be'al Gebirot, me to my love, let me need, let me again. It's Moxie for Yeshua, Imon Ata, Yo Koko, Aruch Ata Adonai, Mechyaye Hako. Continue the Kedusha on pages 208 through 210.
נקדיש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשביל מרום, ככתוב על הנביאים, וקרא זה וזה ואמר, קדוש קדוש קדוש, אדוני צבאות, מלוך הארץ. Evodo, adir adirino Adonai Adonenu, adir shimcha b'chol haaretz. Baruch Elon Adonai Limbono. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu hu Malkeinu, hu Moshiachenu v'hu Yashmienu, v'rachamo leini kol chayim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Tzion, ledor vodor. Hallelujah. ledor ותנקת קולך, ונפנק את קדושתך, נעבדיש בשבחך אלוהינו, מפרנו ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. You may be seated. Page 212. On this Shabbat day, as you graciously receive our prayers, help us to hear your call. Grant us enough health to fulfill our duties and the compassion we need to attend to others. Teach us humility that we may perceive our own faults, and grant us the wisdom to be forgiving of others. Give us the courage to be true to our highest selves and the charity to see the best in those around us. Give us patience enough not to become discouraged, hope enough to overcome all fears for the future, and faith enough to know your presence. O source of blessing, look with favor upon us. May our offerings be acceptable to you. We praise you, Adonai, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. We turn to our prayer for peace, Sim Shalom, page 216. shalom, sing, 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 shalom, sing, 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 shalom, tova uberachah. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Sing, 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 shalom, sing, 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 shalom, sing, 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 shalom, tova uberachah. We continue now silently with the prayers of our heart. Adonai, Suri, Adonai, Suri. Adonai Tzuri Begoli. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri Begoli. We turn now to Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for reading of Torah, and we mark on this occasion the bar mitzvah of Joshua Cooper, as he is given Torah by his grandparents, his parents, and he will carry on the yoke of our tradition through the future as he becomes an adult in the eyes of our Jewish tradition. So for the honor of passing the Torah through the generations, I invite forward Avram Favor, Rebecca Cooper, and Joshua Cooper, and I invite the congregation to please rise as we turn to page 244. Adonai berech et amo b'shalom, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, udvar Adonai merushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael, b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Echad Eloheinu gadol, Adonai Kadosh Shemo. Echad Adonai Yogidol, Yogivoro, V'yatikveru, V'yanita v'yachol. Yihul b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Yihul b'shamayim u'ba'aretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlecha, Yamid na'aseh, Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
I'm gonna do that and then. Okay. My Torah portion is Parshat Vayera, Genesis 19, verses 4 through 11.
Yom Dud, Si Baruch ben Amram, Abram ben Yaakov. We call for the first Aliyah, Herschel Faber, and Avram Faber.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'charbanu mikol ha'amim, v'nasan lanu es ka'aso, Baruch atah Adonai, nosen ha'torah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nasan lanu es ka'aso, v'chayei olam notah b'sofenu. Baruch atah Adonai, nosen ha'torah.
Ha'amot, B'Besh Shoshana bat Abraham, Sharon Elisheva. Call for the second Aliyah, Rebecca.
Bear with me.
Baruch et Adonai Hambara.
Baruch Adonai Hambara Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch Adonai Hambara Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bashar banu mikol ha'amin. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torah amat. V'kei ha'olam nata b'Torheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Amud Bar Mitzvah. And Rivka Shoshana. To go for the final aliyah, the Bar Mitzvah, Joshua Cooper.
Baruch Adonai
forward to the Torah. As we look and bless the Torah, I invite Jacob and Sarah Cooper to lead on that. I invite the congregation to please rise.
This is the after. Example. Orofatah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nim tovim v'rasa v'divreihem hana'emarim be'emet Orofatah Adonai haboher b'torah v'moshe avdo Yisrael Amo Yimye Ha'emet V'Tzedek. Omer, Otavi, Akor, Osmecha, Akar, Nizanti, Yadva, Alef, Insa, Ish, Lo, Onu, Yehi, Devarechecha, Ish, Lo, Ta'amenu, Isamta, Nizanti, All, Panay, Ana'ar, Utomer, Aim, Ana'ar, Pai, Adonai, Hey, Na, Shefa, Im, Be'ez, the root, the rough, the Yakom, the Yelech, Harecha, the Gay, Kazi, Avar, Li, Nehem, Vaya, Sam, Ek, Anish, Anet, All Panay, Na'ar, Ain, Kol, Be'en, Asher, Vaya, Show, Likrato, Vaya, Gedlo, Limor, Go, Ikitz, Hana'ar, Yavo, Isha, Habata, Vinay, Hana'ar, Night, Mushkal, All, Ni, Tato, Vayavo, La, Yisgor, Adelet, Ba'ad, Menahem, Hayi, Halel, Et, Adonai, Ya'al, Yish, Hav, All, Ered, Ayared, Ayasem, Hu, All, Hu, Enav, All, Enav, v'cha'av al ka'pal v'yibhar alav v'yachom v'char hayayed hayashov hayalach habayit ha'at enah va'at enah haya'or hayibhar alav v'hayazir na'ar or Deva Amen Yikha Na'ar at Enah. Just a total night, hanging out for alone. Sore for her alamin, deep for her alone. El Holy Emon, O Omer, the Osa, Omedabe Unkayam, they called Devaron, and met Bot said, O Toro, O Abodah, O Anani, O Yom, the Bot Kazer, Falonu, Adonai Elokeinu, did you show Neva, the vote is too far away. Adonai Eloheinu, Anokim Odin Bar, Uvalkim Otar, Yikbal Ukino Bififar, Hitler on the earth, Baruch Atah Adonai, Nikesh HaShabbat. Go sit down. Good morning. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
Thank you so much for joining me today as I've been called to the Torah to become a bar mitzvah. It means the world to me that friends and family, near and far, are here to witness this meaningful day. A special thank you to those in separate time zones for waking up especially early to join me as well. While my preference would have been for all of us to be together in person, I'm grateful that we could still celebrate together virtually while remaining safe. And even though my parents would heavily protest the statement, thank goodness for technology. To become a bar mitzvah means something different for everyone. We are taught that we become a bar mitzvah at the age of 13. Become accountable for our actions and become responsible and contributing members of the Jewish community. Although this is honorable and inspiring, I have to confess this is not my only motivation. I was born in Princeton, New Jersey in 2007. When I was 2 years old, my family and I moved to Raleigh. At the time, I started preschool at Temple Beth Or Religious School. I spent my summer at the camp JCC. I formed bonds and relationships with my peers that started all those years ago. To me, Temple Beth Or is my home. I feel a sense of belonging and community. It was natural for me to make this next big step into my Jewish education. Not because I feel like a man now, I am always accountable, but because I'm inspired to reach for that goal as the most obvious step in my growth. I was trying to decide what part of my Torah portion I wanted to focus on. The story of Sodom and Gomorrah stood out to me. What do we know about Sodom and Gomorrah? We know that God intends to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, that Abraham ultimately pleads to God to reconsider if there are just 10 innocent people to be found. God agrees for the sake of the 10 He will not destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, but it is destroyed anyway. Does that mean there are not even 10 innocent people to be found? What was so bad about the people of Sodom and Gomorrah? In Genesis 19, verses 4 to 14, God has welcomed strangers into his home, has made the strangers a festive meal, and baked unleavened bread. Such behavior would be rewarded surely, but no. The people of Sodom and Gomorrah, young and old alike, gathered around Lot's house and demanded that he handed over the strangers. Lot refuses, offering us $2 instead. As troubling as that is to me, the treatment of strangers by the people of Sodom and Gomorrah is what I'd like to focus on. The people of Sodom and Gomorrah were taught to hate strangers, to use strangers. They were not charitable. They were not kind. When a stranger would visit their town, they would steal and take whatever they could without punishment from the law. Cruelty became a public policy, and in most situations, the courts. Instead of promoting justice, chose to promote injustice. So imagine a place that didn't want strangers, that was cruel to strangers, that was greedy and didn't treat people fairly. Can you think of such a place? A place where there affects you personally? Well, I can. And it's right here in our country. The division, the hatred, the greed, and the poor treatment of immigrants. Our seeking comfort in our country is sad to me. The lack of leadership and dignity by our leaders has created chaos. It is a good thing to help the needy, to feed the hungry. It is important to care about others and to receive more joy from giving than taking. It is an absolute necessity to have strong leaders, and that brings all of us together rather than create conflict and tear us apart. I pray that we all have peace and justice soon. As stated above, Temple Beth Or welcomed me when I was a stranger. They made me feel like a member of their community. I have lifelong friends and experiences. I will remember forever. Think of what would have happened to the people of Sodom and Gomorrah if they were kind in welcoming the strangers. This brings me to my mitzvah project. When COVID is controlled and is safe to do so, I'm going to focus on my efforts on feeding the hungry. I was driving home with my mom the other day, and we came to a stoplight. A man is standing there in the rain wearing rags and holding up a sign that said hungry. It brought tears to my eyes, and I just felt so badly for that man. No one should be without food. We must help the hungry in our country, and not like the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. I hope that you have enjoyed the service this morning. For some of you, this has brought back memories for your own B'nai mitzvahs and those of friends and family. For others, it has been a new experience and one I hope you all have found interesting and inspiring. I'd like to thank my parents, Rebecca and Chris Cooper, for supporting me in this journey and doing whatever was necessary to help me get to this day. To my brother Jacob and sister Sarah, for constantly doubting me and urging me to want to prove you wrong. Just kidding, kind of. You both know I love you. My grandparents, Avram and Cheryl Favor, for always being my constant cheerleaders and sources of wisdom. To my uncle Herschel, my aunt Amy, and my cousins, Zachary, Alex, and Ben. I'm so grateful you are all here with me. Thank you for making the effort to be here and sharing your 50th birthday with me, Uncle Herschel. I couldn't imagine this day without you. To my Nana, Uncle Craig, Uncle Jam, Aunt Casey, and cousins Brianna, Jimmy, Madison, Peyton, and Sophia. I don't see you all nearly enough, but I love you and can't wait to celebrate with you soon. To the Ryan family and the Stern Williams family, thank you for being a huge part of my life. I always feel at home, and I'm always happy when I am with you all. Thank you to my friends at Temple Bethor. Some of you I've known most of my life, and I hope our relationship stays strong and lasts a lifetime. Thank you to Rabbi Dinner, Rabbi Citron, and Zemalexi for being so helpful, knowledgeable, and encouraging all of us to think outside the box. Rabbi, Rabbi Dinner, you send our love and healing prayers. Thank you to Rachel and Jessica Gott for graciously agreeing to tutor me on my prayers this summer. Your help gave me the confidence that I needed. Finally, I would like to thank Ellen Schaefer for being one of the best tutors ever. The patience and encouragement made all the difference, and I wouldn't be here without you. I wish I could mention everyone, but if you're watching, please know that your support means the world to me, and you've played an important role in my life in some way. I appreciate all of you for what you bring to my story, and I can't wait for it to continue.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We would like to thank you for joining us on this very beautiful and special day. helping us to celebrate our son Joshua. Joshua, every day you have a chance to learn something new or try a new experience. And each time you have these new experiences, you grow. You become a little wiser and a little more curious. And all of this knowledge combines to make you the man you will become. Your father and I look forward to watching your story unfold. We love you and we are proud of you. But most importantly, we hope you are proud of yourself.
Joshua, you did it. You identified something that was important to you, and even though it took hard work and time away from play, you took this challenge on with a passion. You didn't quit when it became difficult. You kept going. And in the end, we hope the sense of accomplishment you are feeling becomes a model for how you approach other challenges in your life and leads to a lifetime of learning. Your mother and I love you very much and are very proud of you.
You didn't get to sit down. Now you just have to stand there though and listen to people say nice things. Is that okay? Think you can do it? I know you can. There you go. All right, Joshua, I know a few things about you. The first, you're the youngest of 3 siblings, and yet you're the only one who chose to be called to Torah and celebrate becoming bar mitzvah in this way. To me, that shows a commitment and a dedication to Judaism and to Jewish life and to our community at Temple Beth Or that I hope you will take with you and carry with you as you develop into the Jewish adult that you were talking about becoming. Second, I know that you like Chick-fil-A and that is your Saturday morning ritual. And I'm grateful that you were able to keep that up even today as you got ready to celebrate becoming bar mitzvah, because even if I don't agree with you about the time in which it's appropriate to eat chicken nuggets, I know that you made a very convincing argument about it. And that to me shows that you are totally comfortable with who you are and you are totally willing to engage in discussions that, you know, as silly as a topic as chicken nuggets for breakfast might be, that you gave it some thought and you really tried to convince me. And so I hope that you also take with you that sense of who you are, whether it's that sense of humor or the silliness, but also the opportunity to have discussions, even if you might not agree with the other people with whom you're discussing, because you model for us what it means to be an adult in our Jewish community. And in honor of those things and the accomplishments that you have shown us this morning, we have a few gifts from the temple that I'd like to present you with. They're sitting over there in a pile. You can pick each one up as I describe it to you. The first is that nicely wrapped box that is a gift from the matzah balls. I hope one day we will be able to return to you presenting it to each other. But it is the Torah from which you read, and you will be able to look back on it fondly and remember all the hard work that you put into preparing for this day. Next is a certificate from our board of trustees that you can proudly display in case you should ever forget this occasion. Third, there is a certificate there for um, um, a discount to or a credit for a trip to Israel that we hope you will take with in your teen years with the other members of your class and your community. From the religious school, there's a book on the doorpost of your house. It is our hope that you use that to guide you through other momentous occasions in your Jewish life, and as a resource if you have questions about any of the Jewish rituals that you might encounter. From the Brotherhood, there's a mezuzah. The mezuzah within it has the scroll and the words of the Shema and Ve'ahavta, things that you led us today in very beautifully. And it is a reminder as you put it on your door that with Jewish adulthood comes responsibility, and that responsibility is something you embrace here this morning. Finally, there is a wine cup from the sisterhood that you'll use for the first time this morning. And the wine cup is a symbol of joy and gladness and celebration that Jews use to mark all holidays and special occasions. And it is our hope that this will be one of many occasions on which you will use that as you raise it and appreciate the sweetness this morning and moving forward. We're not going to do the blessing yet. We're going to need your matzo balls to help in just a little bit. So we say to you, in recognition of all of this, Mazel Tov, and we appreciate very much your commitment to our community that you lived out in leading our service here this morning. Now you can sit down. Mazel Tov, that's right. In moments of joy and happiness, we also take a moment to recognize that there are those who are in need of healing. On this Shabbat morning, we think of those members of our community in need of healing this morning. If you are thinking of a loved one who could benefit from healing of body, healing of mind, healing of spirit, I invite you to share their name at this time. And of course, we're all thinking of Rabbi Lucy Dinner, Harav Ora Bat Leah Yaakov. We give thanks to God. We ask for healing. Baruch atah Adonai rofeh hacholim. Blessed are you, Adonai, the source of healing. We turn to the words of Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish. We turn to the words of Aleinu on page 282 at the bottom through 287. Please rise. You may be seated. Our thoughts turn now to those who are no longer among the living, those whose memory live on in us and in the world around us. As a congregation, we mourn the recent deaths of Elaine Smith Kramer, Mercedes Sonia Lowy, Ruben Zalkberg, and we commemorate the yahrzeit, the anniversary of death this Shabbat, of Anne Plavinsky Bander, Hannah Schaas Blomberg, Martha Levy Buckman, Agnes Cahill, Daniel Randolph Cole, Anna Colton, Sarah Daneman, Evelyn Eisenberg, Estelle Barker Friedman, Abraham H. Friedman, Sarah W. Schiller Garmies, Rosalind Gevertsman, Aaron Gleiberman, Marvin Stanley Heller, Edgar Hewler, Paul Kritz, Lester Marks, Irving Whitey Milrod, Sarah Ella Morris, Rachel Neustadt, Kathleen Philbin, Nellie Pollard, Leon Schaefer, Dave Schechter, Bess Schechter, James Rudolph Silber, Molly L. Spitzberg, Janet Stein. And we add to those names the names of Gertrude Faber and Daniel Cooper on this, the occasion of Joshua being called to Torah as a bar mitzvah. We turn now to the words hallowed by our generations that we recite in loving memory, page 294. Please rise as you are able. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra chirute ve'amlich malchute, b'chayechon u'biyomechon u'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mivorach le'olam u'olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shmei de Kudisha, Barihu, Le'ela, Minko, Birchata, Vishirata, Tushbechata, Venechemata, Da'amiran, Be'alma, Ve'imru, Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Be'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Huya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Be'imru, Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to those who are bereaved, as together we say, Amen. We turn now to our closing song, and as we do, I invite our matzah balls, who are hopefully with us here on Zoom, to get ready for Kiddush and Motzi, and I invite the Cooper family to come on back up, Jacob and Sarah and Chris and Rebecca, to join Joshua as we sing our closing song.
Hello. Hello.
Okay, we can't hear you, but you're there, which means you're going to lead us in Kiddush as Joshua lifts up his brand new Kiddush cup filled with sweetness. 1, 2, 3.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Amen.
L'chaim. And our motzi. We're doing at home. That's right. We're doing motzi at home.
Okay.
All right. So with that, we say Shabbat Shalom. We say Mazel Tov. And
Mazel
we'll give you a
Tov.
chance
Shabbat
to
Shalom.
See everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yes,
Mazel
thank
Tov.
you.
Shalom. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
I don't keep hearing the left turn, not as much. But yeah, I'm not really sure. They did? They did? It does matter.
Mazel
Mazel
tov,
tov.
Joshua.
Can leave.
Mazel tov.